week, I covered the blatant election fraud in the Democratic primary. And that seemed to, it upset a lot of people, you know? Right in here, they didn't feel good. So this week, to make it more enjoyable, as I talk about it, I'm gonna put adorable puppies up on this screen there. And I think we'll get through this. We'll get through this together, you know? So the exit polls don't seem to match up to the voting machine tallies. Isn't that odd? And the voting machines all seem to tend towards Hillary Clinton, while the exit polls all seem to tend towards Bernie Sanders. Isn't that odd? And in 9 of those contests, those exit polls were so far off, they were way outside the margin of error. The odds of that happening by chance are 1 in 90 million. Isn't that odd? Okay, that's your last puppy, so take it in. Take it in. You need to internalize it. Now I want to look at one instance where we know something egregious happened. Over 100,000 voters were accidentally knocked off the rolls in Brooklyn, New York. Isn't that odd? And I imagine it's not that easy to accidentally purge 100,000 people off the rolls. I don't think the clerk at the Board of Elections is like sitting at a panel with one large red button that keeps the election clean and another large red-orange button that rigs the election for Hillary Clinton. And her boss is on the phone going, "Push the red button, not the red-orange button. I repeat, not the red-orange button." And she's like, "I'm colorblind. They're all mauve to me." I don't think that's how it works. But this certainly has nothing to do with Hillary Clinton's campaign. No, the person to blame is Chief Clerk Diane Haslet Rudiano, who is now getting booted for her error. Although, if it was truly just a simple mistake, then why would she be fired? Isn't that odd? But in order to show she did it to help Hillary Clinton, we'd have to show she's had some kind of contact with Clinton or Clinton supporters, and that just isn't good. Oh. What's this on this newspaper from 2014 that I always keep by my desk? What? I like my newspapers old and wrinkly, like my men. I don't know what that meant. In September of 2014, the Wall Street Journal wrote about a dilapidated Upper West Side brownstone that was sold to a developer. The place's floors had collapsed and stonework cracked. Over the years, neighbors complained about graffiti, garbage, and rats. One neighbor even put up a rat crossing sign. Anyway, this place is a dump. Nobody would ever buy. Oh. The property sold for $6.6 million, $1.1 million over the 2013 market value. Isn't that odd? The owner of the home is one Diane Haslet Rudiano, who paid $5,000 for it in 1976. That's the same name as that other person. That is odd. She wasn't even trying to sell the place. She was just approached by a buyer offering $6.5 million. Maybe the buyer was a rat collector. Who knows? But alas, this still has nothing to do with the Clinton campaign. Oh, wait. The buyer of the property was an investment group headed by Dana Lowy Lutway, daughter of U.S. Representative Nita Lowy, a superdelegate for one Hillary goddamn Clinton. Isn't that odd? It says here in this newspaper, which has now switched from the Wall Street Journal to the Daily News, because I like my newspapers like my men, switch hitters. It says that when they asked Lowy's chief of staff whether there was any potential situation at all in which Nita Lowy would switch her support from Clinton to Sanders, her chief of staff replied, "Absolutely not." None at all? None at all? Like Hillary could walk up on the podium with a pig's head on a necklace, like a Flavor Flav clock, and Lowy would still be down for that? Isn't that motherfucking odd? So the Board of Elections chief clerk accidentally deletes 120,000 voters in a major primary 18 months after selling a completely destroyed house where bedbugs go to plan their revolution, selling it for $6.6 million to the daughter of a die-hard Clinton supporter. Color me pink and tickle me stupid. That is odder than a snowstorm in July. That is odder than a porcupine with a balloon. That is odder than a porn star at a debutante ball. That is odder than Shia LaBeouf acting not odd. That is odder than a river otter. That's all I got. That's all I got. Look, I'm sure this is all on the up and up. The Clintons would never be involved in something scandalous. And I'm sure there was some kind, if there was some kind of conspiracy, the mainstream media would be all over it. Just like they were all over donating to the Clinton Foundation, including NBC, News Corp, which owns Fox News, Turner Broadcasting, which owns CNN, and Reuters. But they didn't donate for any, payback. They donated because they genuinely care whether Bill Clinton can afford top-shelf call girls. I mean, it's honestly, you don't want an ex-president having to settle for vintage, used, still smells like the last owner call girl. You don't blame me for that joke. That is Bill Clinton's fault. Do we still have any more puppies? Do we have any more puppies? No. They're out of puppies. Look, if we are going to stick with this completely unaccountable system, with a corrupt media that won't report on it, then we just need to accept that we are a banana republic. And I don't care what the ads say. I don't care. It is not that fun. All right? It's not. Historically speaking, banana republics are a lot less pastel and a lot more death squatty. So what are the answers? What can we do to change this? I'll tell you in a second. Keep your pants on. Coming to you from Washington, D.C., the belly of the beast. This is Redacted Tonight. So enough complaining. What are the answers to this election fraud? Step one is to get rid of this stupid superdelegate crap. All right, of course, get rid of it. Honestly, we've got to be psychotic to accept black box voting where we have no idea what goes on in those computers. Are you out of your mind? Here's another solution. Lawsuits like the one pending right now to stop New York from certifying this corrupt primary without at least counting the affidavit ballots. That's right. We have to sue our government to get them to do their fucking job. We also need verifiable exit polls because exit polls show fraud. Discrepancies between exit polls and the official vote count overturned elections in Ukraine, Serbia, the Republic of Georgia, and Peru. Serbia? You want me to believe Serbia somehow knows how to run an exit poll, but we can't crack the code? I mean, Serbia doesn't even have pencils in this stereotype I've created in my head. If we can't get the exit polls right, then I say let's parachute in some UN observers to just monitor shit. And to get these changes, we have to protest, both in the streets and in the courts, online. This system of corruption only keeps running smoothly as long as we let it. We're like one of those lions in the circus, all right? Most of those lions go their whole lives just dancing around, whatever the tamer wants, juggling balls, whatever they do, never realizing they could just bite the guy's face off. They don't know. They don't know that's even an option. To just Nicolas Cage it and take the guy's face off. They don't know. They don't know. But we can demand change. Imagine one day no one goes to work, no one goes shopping until we get paper ballots. We just have to realize our power. And yes, right now, we are the underdog, all right? To stick with our dog theme, we are the underdog. But sometimes, the underdog wins.